doing? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for taking the time. Hope you're having a good day. Today is Labor Day. I had it earmarked today for the Sunday sum up, but some news came out last week that kind of got my mind thinking in regards to Halo and Microsoft. And I was getting ready this morning, and I was having my coffee, and I watched a video, and it just got me really thinking about something. And I just had to shoot a video over this because I was getting heated, in my own brain. I was having an argument with myself, and I was like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I should talk about this. So I just want to dive right into this. There was some news that came out last week that, to me, I really don't care. There are some people who are really upset in the Xbox community, Halo fans specifically, in regards to the roadmap that 343 just announced. And it's been getting trashed. A lot of people making videos. There's articles being written by media sites, and it's a hot topic for a good reason. The content looks poor. The seasons themselves, they're just not really, they're not making sense. The time of them and how long they last and everything. There's a lot in question, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about this in depth, and I'm going to go over the season on my Sunday podcast. And I was like, wait a minute, wait. This isn't, hold on. And it just got me thinking. The more I watched videos and listened to these creators talk about this, I just couldn't help but it's so fucking weird, because my opinion is that Halo is dying. I won't say that it's dead, not yet. Nothing is ever truly dead when it comes to IP. You can always revive it. But Halo is dying for sure. Okay. And there's the notion right now is that Microsoft is killing it or 343 is killing it. I disagree. I think they absolutely have a hand in it for sure. Their hands are not free of guilt here, but I think the real problem here is media and Team Green in general. Okay. I've been listening to podcasts for so many years. I've listened to, all of these media sites. They always have these little shows and podcasts and videos and things, and I've listened to them for years. And I kind of stepped away from them a few years ago just because I got tired of the bullshit that they were talking, and it was getting annoying. One of the things that it always stood out to me was the idea that Halo is doing good. That's the common theme that I've always heard. Halo is doing good no matter what fucking release it was. It was always that it's trending upwards. It's looking good. 343 is doing the right thing. And it really got annoying just this last week listening to these videos and creators. And I'm not here to bag on creators, and I'm not here to bag on people's opinions. What I do have a problem with, and what I take umbrage with, is where the fuck were you the last 10 years? Where were you? Because like I said, my head's been in this sort of space, this gaming space, for 3 decades. Obviously there's been in and outs where I'm not so deep into it, but there's a good 10 years, 8 years where I was just knee deep in this stuff. Specifically when during the Xbox One, the end of the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era, all the way up until now, I've had my finger on the pulse. Let's just leave it at that. And I can't get over the fact that all of these creators and a lot of these Team Green supporters, these Halo fans, now they've seen the light. Now it's time for a change. And that's what I've been seeing. 343 needs to be taken off the project. They need to be given the keys to another IP. They're failing. They're destroying it, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, where were you? Where were you? If anybody criticized Halo or 343 over the last 10 years, it was Sony fanboys, haters, detractors, toxic fans. It was people that were bad for gaming. And now all of a sudden, it's because I'll say this, everyone has their limit, okay? And obviously people have reached their limits. But I'm listening to creators right now, and I'm listening, and some of them are newer. I still kind of peek in on some of the older ones just to kind of see what kind of bullshit they're talking, because most of it's just media, right? I mean, media to me is trash. I don't really like media in general. They're there to push an idea. They're there to push a product, and the idea that, oh, media, it's the reviewers are just, they're giving their honest opinion. It's that one reviewer's thoughts on the game, and there's no bags of cash being delivered for the reviews, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, that's bullshit. Okay. Access is money. The first to debut game trailers or gameplay walkthroughs, interviews, all of this shit is money. It's generating money for those big sites. It always has been. And I always took umbrage with the fact that it was like, oh, well, wait till the check clears. That's what fans think. And it's like, well, kinda, yeah. I mean, obviously, and the thing that to me that always bugged me was, it was always that it's this sort of conspiracy theory that gaming sites and media sites are getting paid off for their reviews. And one of the things that I've always kind of thought was proof was, you could listen to reviews constantly about games that had problems, issues, like real problems. They would talk about the issues, and then it was, but it's still great, but it's still going to be a classic, or but it's still a 9. And it always happened all the time. And I'm not saying it's just Xbox, because that happens. I think it happens across the board, just gaming in general. But this particular topic, because it's, we're talking about one thing, 343, Halo, Microsoft, it's just all of this one little thing because of this this roadmap that got dropped. All of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, up in arms, like, what the hell, what are they doing? And I just got to ask, where the fuck were you? Where were you? Okay, so let's go back, because I wanted to look at some stuff. I jumped online real quick, because honestly, I was going to do a completely different video today. I was going to do my regular spiel, just talk about gaming in general. And I was listening to another video, and a guy was breaking it down, and he was doing it from more of like a fan reaction, and like, there's all this there's a shitstorm coming on Twitter right now for 343. Everyone's got their pitchforks and torches, and they want 343 out. And I've said this for a long time. Microsoft, they don't manage the studios well. I don't think Phil Spencer's good at what he does. I think he's a car salesman. He's a used car salesman. That's all he is. He has a few, qualities about him that are good in the business sense, maybe, but I for the most part, the guy bullshits a lot. Okay. And listening to creators go on and on right now about how 343 needs to be moved off the project. This isn't right, and also what I'm hearing is, I've been saying this for a long time, that 343, maybe they're not the right crew. Really? Because show me that fucking video. Show me that one. Show me that review. Show me where in any of these media, because a lot of creators right now are just former media. They're former IGN, GameSpot, Game Informer, Game Trailers before they got dissolved. They're all former so-and-sos that worked for media sites, media corporations who did reviews and shit like that. They're out on their own. They got their own thing going on, which is great. That's good for them. But all these voices of opposition, where were you? Because I was there. I was listening. I've been listening for a really long time. Okay, I was listening to Xbox's Unlocked on IGN. I was listening to Game Informer's, their weekly podcast. I started dipping into some of GameSpot's shit. I wasn't really big on them. Easy Allies, kind of funny games. Where the fuck were you? Where were you? So when I hear these people, these creators who come out and now they talk like they were the sole voice of opposition back in the day. No, you weren't. No, you fucking weren't. You were there blaring the fucking horns, calling Sony fans fanboys, saying that it's toxic, saying that it's just haters and detractors and it's bad for gaming and Xbox is fucking killing it and Halo's back. Halo's back. I don't know how many times I've heard that. I mean, it's like, oh, Halo's back. They're back in the saddle. It's like, how many times can they come back? And that just means that every time they left, they went away. So I know for a fact, I mean, I used to listen to Xbox podcast on IGN's Unlocked. I used to listen to that religiously every week. Podcast Beyond, all of them. I used to listen to a lot of weekly shows regularly. Now, and I've never called out these shows in particular. Number one, I'm not trying to reach for anybody. I don't fucking care if this is a hobby. I don't have any aspirations for fame or anything like that. I do this because it's good for me. I like it and it's fun, you know? So when I name off these sites or I name off these shows, I'm not like, oh, I hope they fucking call me. I don't tag them in my videos. I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest with you. But I don't try to get their attention or wave fucking flags or send off flares to get someone to notice me. I don't care. I really don't. But I was listening to Unlocked. I was listening to these shows on a weekly fucking basis for years. I was there when Halo 5 came out. I listened to their reviews. I listened to their thoughts. I watched, IGN and Game Informer. I watched all of these reviews. Okay. Where were you? Okay. If Halo is dying, if Halo is in trouble, it's because of you fuckers. You guys are dishonest as fuck. Always. You're always fucking selling. You're upselling Halo. You're upselling Microsoft, and you've been doing it forever. So when I hear the 343 is to blame, Microsoft or Phil Spencer, they have their hand in the shit. But you media, you reviewers, you Xbox reviewers and fans and media corporations and shit, you guys are the one that we're here right now because of you. Every time one of these games comes out, it's glowing praise. Even when there's something that's bad or wrong with the game, like specifically wrong with the game, it still walks away with a fucking 80 or a 90 or a 95. You go look up like the Master Chief Collection reviews on like YouTube or Halo 5 or Halo Infinite. I strongly recommend 9 out of 10, Halo's back, Master Chief is awesome. It's all this shit. It's like, and I listened to plenty of reviews when Halo Infinite came out. I checked on a few of the regular, Joes that I listened to, and it was for the most part glowing reviews. But within the review, it was the open world is kind of lackluster. It's a collectathon, just icons on your map. The campaign is pretty lame. The antagonist is boring and one note. The mission structure was boring and repeat. You go to the same environments over and over. You go down the same corridors for the same missions every fucking time. The characters in general, like the supporting cast, were boring and lame and kind of cringy. There was all of this criticizing the campaign and criticizing that part, and it always ended with a big old butt. A big old booty. But the open world is just amazing. So much fun. The combat is true to form. Hey, watch this. Watch what I do. I zip line or use my fucking grapple and I go flying through the air and look at what I did and everything. And it's like, okay, that's fine. You're telling me that the gameplay is solid. And okay. And there's this argument that's been going on for a long time. And I've heard this forever. Gameplay is king. That's all that matters. Well, sure. It is definitely a big part of what makes a game good. No disagreeing there. But when you criticize a game on multiple things, multiple levels, you're saying all these things are bad, then you say, I strongly recommend, or 9 out of 10. This is fucking false advertising. They're lying. They're being disingenuous. They want people, they are driving people to this product, and they have been driving people to this product for a decade. Since 343 came in to control of Halo, all I've heard was how 343 is really outdoing themselves. I've listened, I can't believe this. I've heard this so many times. 343 has shown that they're the right developer for the team. I have total confidence in what they can do and their capabilities, and I can't wait until the next game. And this one, the Halo 5, the campaign wasn't that great, but the multiplayer was just 10. It's a fucking 10. There we go. That's all we need to say is one. All 343 has to do is one thing right, just one. If they do one thing right, then everything else is fine. That's been proven over and over and over again. All of these, just go look them up. I pulled it up. I was looking as I was thinking about this. I'm like, you know what? Let's look at Metacritic. Okay, this is a nice little read on where the reviewers were at the times of these games came out. Okay, and we're talking, and I heard this a lot, and I really agree with this. The revising of reviews. I do think that that reviewers should be allowed a grace period of revising their reviews. 100%. I've got no problem with that, because there are games that when they come out, the reviewers don't actually get to play in a live environment because the game is not live yet. It hasn't been released to you or I yet. So the servers are not populated. It's very controlled. So and when they get in there, everything's usually optimized and working really well. And then if the game comes out, well, and so they write their review based on that. And then the game comes out and is shit or is crashing all the time. Listen, I think absolutely that reviewers should not be held accountable for the developer hiding shit and or the publisher hiding shit from the public, okay, and from the reviewer at that point. I think that reviewers should be allowed to do that, but I don't think they do. They don't do that. They put it out there. They slap a fucking 9 on something. They slap a 10 on it. They slap an 8 on it. They say it's great or above. 8 is great, right? And then they wash their hands of it. And then they go on their fucking podcast or they go on videos for the next, week or two, and they talk about all the criticisms of the game, but they don't adjust. They don't go back and rewrite their reviews. That's not really common practice. And I think it's, especially now, I mean, how fucking dumb are you, these paid reviewers, how fucking dumb are you to not at least see that what you're playing before the game actually launches and goes live and goes out into the wild? How dumb do you have to be to say, like, listen, I can't give this a serious score yet. I can tell you, yeah, it looks good or whatever in the static environment, but give me 2 weeks or whatever. They don't do that. You know why they don't do that? Because they want to be first. They're so worried about being first, they don't give two shits if it's right. They really don't. All because the only thing that matters is them clicks. Get them clicks. Get you and me to click on their shit, to watch their video, stay on their site, click through to other shit on their site. That's the only thing. Click through fucking YouTuber's site, go to their homepage, subscribe to their channel, click on all their videos, all this other shit. That's why they do it. Okay? It's a monetized gain. Okay? And I'm so tired of this. I don't get paid to do this. I'm tired of people saying I just get a bag of cash or I have to wait till the check clears before I give my score. It's like, no, you have total control over what your decisions are. That's totally fine. And I get it. It's a subjective thing. Totally understand. That's fine. That's totally fine. Reviews are subjective. However, when a game comes out and is broken after the fact and you've left your 9 attached to it and you don't change it, and then you come out and defend it and say, well, they're working on it and the stuff that I've heard nothing but good stuff now and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, the game was fucking broken. Was it not? I mean, that's happened multiple times. That's happened. And I went back and saw the three big games that everyone sort of focuses on when we talk about Halo. When I hear Xbox channels, Team Green, when they talk about Halo and the things that they love about it, and 343 specifically, because everyone goes back to Halo 1, 2, and 3, and they're like, oh my God, it's the best ever, and I agree. Halo 1 and 2 is the only ones I played. They're fantastic. Love those games. Seriously. There's some of they're groundbreaking. They really are. They were groundbreaking, trend-setting, genre-setting, however you want to say. They were a very big deal. They belong on the Mount Rushmore of gaming, for sure. No question. Not for me anyways. But one of the things that I hear, and I just heard this. I was listening to a fucking podcast that just came out like a week ago. And I was an Xbox one. And I'm listening to, I heard them shout out the MCC, the Master Chief Collection, and how great it is. And that's 343's crowning achievement. The big thing that they have done. I was listening to another video this morning, and the guy was giving the props to the Master Chief Collection. The game was fucking broken. It didn't work. It did not. It was a broken game on launch. And we're not talking about like, okay, broken day one. Excuse me. Oh, got an itchy eye here all of a sudden. I don't know what that means. I know like if your ears are ringing, someone's talking about you or something like that, or if your nose itches or something, like someone's thinking about you. What does it mean when your eye itches? So I was, well, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so the Master Chief Collection came out broken. It was not ready. And we were talking about a game that was broken for weeks, not a day. It wasn't like the game came out. It wasn't like the game was released and then 24 hours later, they launched an update, fixed all the problems, servers are up, everyone's happy. Again, grace period. I understand, especially when you're talking about multiplayer games that work on a server. I understand. I can say like, okay, give them a day or two. It's fine. They maybe didn't anticipate. Maybe some shit happens. Maybe shit broke. I don't know. But this was something that happened that went on for weeks. It was like 2 weeks before the game was actually stable, and it was like another 2 weeks before the game was actually optimized and actually running like it was supposed to. I remember I was there. That the night that the Master Chief Collection came out. I was at GameStop in San Marcos, where I used to live in California, right off San Marcos Boulevard, right next to Panera and In-N-Out. That was my little game spot when I lived in San Marcos. And I went there, and I want to say it was either Assassin's Creed or it was that trashy ass Duke Nukem, because I was a big Duke Nukem 3D fan from PC back in the 90s. Anyways, I was there not for Master Chief Collection. I was there for something else. But there was just a line, 50, 60 people lined up to get in until it was like, I can't remember if they were still doing the time zone thing, because on the West Coast, when games dropped, quote unquote, at midnight, it was midnight on the East Coast, but that means it dropped at 9 o'clock on the West Coast, which is, I miss living in that time zone just for that reason. I don't know why. Everything always happens earlier, So anyways, I was there. I was watching, listening to these guys. I was by myself, and there's groups of 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and just lined up, and they're all talking about they're excited to play. They can't wait. We're going to play this map. And I'm just listening, and it was fun for me listening to their joy. Like listening to these guys be so excited. I was like, man, that's tight. That's cool, man. These guys are in for a fun night. That's really awesome. I hope they have a good time. Next day comes out. Next day I come out and start looking at reviews and everything, and it's just the game's broken. Completely fucking broken. Trash. You couldn't even get in and play the fucking game. Okay? That was 343. Then I go to review sites. What did they get? Oh, they got fucking glowing reviews. Okay? That was, let me see. I pulled it up here. I'm on Metacritic right now. November 11th, 2014. Okay? I'm just going to scroll through and look at some of these real quick. Digital Spy, 100. And I'm only going to name off the ones that I kind of recognize myself. Some of these I don't really know. Let's see. Who's the big ones? Polygon, 95. Game Trailers, 93. Game Informer, 93. Let's see. Xbox One Magazine UK, 90. Digital Trends, 90. Pure Xbox, 90. IGN, 90. Eurogamer Germany, 90. Joystick, 90. Eurogamer, 90. Seeing a fucking pattern here? Is anybody else seeing a pattern? Destructoid, 90. Okay, these were all really good reviews. And when I watched the reviews, they were, once again, I understand, they were playing the game in a static environment. They didn't have to play it in the wild and all those issues. But these scores didn't change. They're still the same. And I listened to Xbox, when I was listening to Unlocked and was listening to other channels, other podcasts, they were saying the same shit. They were like, well, they're struggling, but they're going to get it together. And when they do, this game, people are going to be they're going to love this game. This game is going to go down as like a cult classic. 343 deserves all the love that they're getting. They launched a broken fucking game. And you media and you reviewers, you're sitting there telling me and everyone else, they're telling them, like, get it. No, go out and spend your money on it. Do it. I would spend my money, but you didn't have to, did you? No, you've been playing the game for a week. You get to sit down with Uncle Phil and give him fucking softball questions and talk about how kiss his fucking ass about how great he is and 343 is so special and they're, Bungie who, and oh yeah, if anybody deserves to be driving the cars of Halo, it's 343, right? It's got to be. And it's like every fucking time that 343 would launch a game, and again, they launched Halo 4, and I think that was the one that everyone was like, they gave him a pass. I mean, I would give him a pass. Hell, I would even give this MCC a pass just from my personal opinion to 343, because they're still getting they're getting their feet underneath them. That's okay. Halo 4, whatever. It's the first run. It's like the episode 1 of a new season of a new show. It's always a little rough, right? But then this came out. Just got nothing but love. No problems. Okay? Next one comes out. Halo 5 Guardians. When this game came out, I remember vividly that the promos and the trailers for the game were very specific about Chief was now an outlaw. He's running from the law. He is, he's running for, what do they call him? Fuck, I don't remember what their names were. They weren't Spartans, but anyways, this guy named Locke. The new antagonist, his name was Locke, and he had his own squad of Spartans, and they were hunting down John or Master Chief and God, I can't remember the name. It's been so long. Regardless, so the whole story was that Master Chief was on the run, right? So then the game comes out, and the trailers. I guess you could call them the trailers and the promos. They never indicated that you would be playing as Locke. Like, it's a Master Chief game. You're going to play as Master Chief. What happens? The game comes out. You don't even play as Master Chief the majority of the game. At least that's what I understood from the reviews. Like I said, I didn't play it, but I listened to the reviewers, the podcasters, the fucking YouTube channels. They were very unhappy about that. Very. Like, there was like, listen, this is a problem. This is an issue. I was like, that's cool, man. You know what? Keep it real. Then I go watch their fucking reviews. Then I go and look at their scores. 90, 95. It's like, what? Seriously? I thought there was a problem here. I thought there was an issue. And then midway through, every review was like, now let's talk about the multiplayer. Multiplayer is back. Halo is back on top. The best multiplayer ever. Bungie wishes they could do it this fucking good. Just talking up 343 and talking up this game. All the while having spent dedicated minutes of their review to how much they did not like the campaign, how much they thought the campaign was a fluke, and that it wasn't what it was supposed to be. It wasn't what was advertised. But then they slapped these big fucking scores on it. And so I went over I'm looking at Metacritic again. This is for Halo 5 Guardians. Let's see. Gaming Age, 100. Gaming Trend, 100. Cheat Code Central, 96. Let's see here. GamePro Germany, 91. Polygon, 90. Digital Chumps, 90. Video Gamer, 90. Game Trailers, 90. IGN, 90. IGN Spain, 90. Official Xbox Magazine UK, 90. Like, what? Like, what the fuck is going on? EGM, 90. Attack of the Fanboy, 90. I mean, and then it starts to drop a little bit. It's like Game Informer, 88. That's still not a fucking bad score. That's a good score. I mean, if you look at the overall scores here, you're looking at the Metacritic score. It's 89 positive reviews, 12 mixed, 0 negative, 0. Okay? A campaign that I understood to be very poor, a low mark for the franchise. No one liked Locke. The story was bullshit. No one liked it. Gameplay was fun, but the campaign itself was bad. Like, essentially just a bad campaign. I listened to Xbox Unlocked and Game Informer and all these. They all said the same thing. That was bad. That's a bad campaign. I don't really like it. This seems weird, and I'm not happy with it. 90, still positive, still good. No problem there. Because again, just the one butt. They just need one. Just one fucking butt. And there we go. There we go. There's the 90. There's the 88. There's the 95. I mean, does anybody see the fucking pattern here? The Master Chief Collection, I click back over there, 60 positive, 8 mixed, 1 negative. 1. So one reviewer had the balls to say, yeah, this isn't good. This is bad. This looks poor. This game was not ready to be launched. just covering, running cover constantly. And so then when I hear these people talk about how, oh, it's time, we've endured enough, 343, they've had the franchise long enough. They've had plenty of chances. It's time to turn it over. You said they were doing great. You told me they were doing awesome. You told me that 343 was very good at what they do, that they were the correct people to be running the franchise. That's what I was being told. That's what you said to me. And now I think it's time to change. And then people always reference these fucking things. They reference Halo 5. They're now referencing the Master Chief Collection as, remember that launch broken. I mean, it turned out to be amazing now, but it's still launch broken. Halo Infinite. Let's move on to that one. That game came out and is like, I strongly recommend. It's a great game. It's so cool and open world and it's a breath of fresh air, yada, yada, yada. All these great things. But 343 can't run it anymore. This game just came out a fucking year ago, and it came out to glowing reviews. Xbox owned the fall of 2021 because of Halo, because of the open world Halo experience and how great it was and the multiplayer, yada, yada, yada. And this was like from top to bottom. I mean, there was a few people that I think had at least somewhat the honesty to say like, yeah, the campaign isn't that great. And the open world is, the biomes are just one biome and it's a collectathon, yada, yada. There were some people who actually could say that, excuse me, but the ending result was still positive review, still a game that they were telling you and me to go out and spend our money on. Really? That's what we're doing? Come on. Like, look, so let's look here. Here's the Metacritic scores. 94 positive. So Halo Infinite, 94 positive, 4 mixed, 0 fucking negative. Daily Star, I don't care about them. VG247, 100. GamesBeat, 100. Let's see here. No. Xbox Addict, 95. Game Informer, 93. Let's see. Looking for those that I recognize. Let's see here. Some of these I don't really... IGN Spain, 90. The Gamer, 90. Xbox Achievements, 90. GameSpot, 90. IGN, 90. Pure Xbox, 90. Games Radar, 90. Eurogame Italy, 90. God is Geek, 90. Destructoid, 90. DualShockers, 90. GamePro Germany, 87. Then we start dipping into like the more of the... Yeah, it's still a great game. Like this is what I mean. This is the problem that I have, is that now all of a sudden it's time for 343 to step down. Why? I thought they were doing great. Nothing but glowing reviews, nothing but positive receptions. Why would we want to change? Why would Xbox feel the need to change anything at 343 when every time they drop a game, they know paid opposition is already in place? They know that all of these media sites are going to run fucking cover. They're all going to come in and they're going to pad out the stats. They're going to tell you how great this and this and this and this are great. And these things kind of suck and these things are kind of bad, but this and this, remember, no, let's not forget the greatness. So 90. So, fantastic game, a great game, masterpiece, or whatever the fuck you want to say. This is the shit that I'm talking about. That's very frustrating for me as a normie and as a gamer. I like to listen to people's reviews on shit. I do. I enjoy it. I like to listen to people's opinions, and I like to debate with people. It's fun. It's good for your brain. It's good. Critical thinking is good for you. This isn't critical thinking. This is fucking sheep mentality. This is follow along. Do what everyone else is doing. Say what everyone else is saying. Grade like everyone else is grading. All because they don't want fucking Halo to look bad. They don't want Microsoft or Xbox to look bad. Where is the criticism? Where is it? It wasn't there then, but now everyone's seen the light. Now everyone's like, yeah, we need to do something. They need to change this. Why? I thought everything looks good to me. When I listen to all of this criticism now coming from the people who say they're fans, they're trying to sound objective now, but they're within these videos that I'm watching, within these comments that I'm reading, people are saying the same thing that I have said for a long time, that other critics have said for a long time. But those critics we always get pushed down. We always get told we're haters. We're toxic. We're Sony fanboys. We just hate Xbox because it's so amazing. We hate Halo because it's not on PlayStation. Yada, yada, yada. It's like, okay, whatever. That's fine. But I see it. I read the comments. I've listened to the podcast. I've listened to people. I've listened to these voices who are getting paid to give their opinion. I've listened to them openly say that, toxic fandom, bad for gaming, comments this, despite what the detractors say, despite what some commenter says, despite what some blogger or some small YouTuber says, this is still amazing. This is still good. They're doing great. They can't do no wrong. And now the opposition has come out. A fucking roadmap comes out. One thing, 343 drops more bad news. Okay. When Halo Infinite, just the story of Halo Infinite, which I've talked about before, when that game, the teaser trailer came out, I was excited. I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. Oh, open world. Let's see what's up. What are you doing here, 343? Maybe they're going to do something and really sort of change the formula. It's going to be for the good, right? They reveal the gameplay at E3 like 2020, I think, or something like that. And it was supposed to come out the fall of 2020. It was so fucking bad. It looked so poor, so terrible. I was like, what am I watching? This looks terrible. This looks flat. There's no effects. There's no atmosphere whatsoever. There's no dust. There's no particles in the air. There's no leaves blowing. There's no rain. There's no nothing. It was just boring, static bullshit. The gameplay was like, okay, it looks like Halo, but the characters look like shit. The assets look bad. The background looks flat. It looks boring. There's nothing here. And then I listened right after that E3. I went to these different channels. I was listening to these talking heads, all the usual suspects. They get on their channels and they go on about how they're so excited for Halo. This looked amazing. I can't wait. Blah, 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 blah. Then maybe someone might say, I thought it's still early, but yeah, it still needs to kind of clean it up some. This didn't look too good, but I'm still super excited. This game's still going to be amazing. Can't fucking wait. 343's killing it. And then 24 hours later, the gamers, the real customers started coming out and saying shit, posting memes. And then the next show that they had, the next daily show or the next fucking weekly podcast that they had, then it was like, well, you know what? This did actually kind of look bad. And it's like, that's not what you said. That's nope. No backsies. Sorry, it's already out there. You can't say that something looks bad now when you initially came out and said, it looks really good. It looks so much fun. I can't wait. And then all of a sudden the article started pouring in, and then this, and then the fan backlash. The real gamers, not the fucking media, not these people who are just trying to generate clicks, not these people who just want you to like them, who just all they fucking worry about is they want to make sure they play to their base. They don't want to upset their base. Fuck that. Tell the truth. Be honest. If you think it looked good, stick with your guns. Say, listen, I think it looked good. I don't think it looked that bad. I don't understand the backlash. No. People were changing their tone overnight. Like, yeah, you know what? I actually didn't really like that. This whole thing. And then the Craig meme came out, and that was everyone was zooming in on Craig, and it's like, it's not even his real name. It's one of the enemies that Master Chief was fighting. His face looked like a fucking cardboard cutout. There was no anything to his face. It was like no shadow, no depth. It didn't even look three-dimensional. He looked flat. And then that meme came out. Then the Craig memes, they just started flowing, and then it was like, okay, now the fucking media and these YouTubers, now they got to start talking the truth. Now they got to say, oh yeah, that doesn't look good. And the backlash was so bad that Microsoft and 343 delayed the game for 1 whole year. Okay? For you normies who don't know, that's a long fucking time. 6 months, that's a long time. Like, damn. They pushed it out from a spring game to a fall game, or from a fall game to the next year at the beginning. That's a long time. These guys pushed it out a whole fucking year. Like a whole calendar year before they could get their shit together. And the game came out, and first thing I said, when I watched the trailer, I did a fucking breakdown of it. You can go back and look at it. I didn't think it looked good. I pointed out multiple things on that trailer that I was like, this doesn't look good. This looks terrible. This looks plastic. This looks generic. Like, what's going on? Where's the effects? There's no effects. Everything looked it looked like a really, brighter 360 game. It looked like previous console shit. It did not look like it belonged on the most powerful console on the planet, on the planet. And once again, running cover, protecting Microsoft, protecting the franchise, protecting Xbox. Why? Just tell the fucking truth. Just tell the truth. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's okay. And I think people, and listening to the gamers now who are on Twitter, and like I said, I don't do Twitter, but I was I was watching a video this morning, and one of the guy that was doing the video, who I really like, he was, talking, he was reading off some of the tweets and stuff and some of the responses. Where were you? Where were you? Where were these people? Where is the voice of opposition? I listened to another Xbox Game Pass podcast. Sorry, drew a blank. Just last week, still shepherding the fact that 343 is, they're still like, Halo is good. Actually, like 2 weeks ago, I should say, like 2 weeks ago, everything's fine. And then the roadmap comes out, and then the fucking video started dropping. It's time. I've been saying it for a long time. No, you haven't. You have not. That's not true. I see you. I watch you. I listen to you. I pay attention to what you say. Okay? I know for a fact that a lot, if not, I'd say the majority of the videos that are coming out now, if they're Xbox channels who are saying this shit, go back and listen to their reviews of Halo 5, of Master Chief Collection, of Halo Infinite. I guarantee you they are going to be glowing positive reviews. They're going to be. That's what they did. And why would Microsoft feel the need, or Uncle Phil feel the need to punish 343 and take away their toys if every time a game comes out, everyone rushes around it like it's the fucking next coming? It's the greatest thing. They've done such a great job. They're so amazing. Why would they fucking change? Now, I think, to me personally, I think the backlash once again has reached critical level. We are at a point now where I think Microsoft may have to listen now. Uncle Phil may actually have to do something, because the people who are out there flipping, who are now turncoating and saying, yeah, I think it's time. Yeah, I've been saying it forever. No, you haven't. You're lying. But those people who run cover all the time, who constantly fucking tell me just how great Xbox is and Halo's so special and 343 is awesome, now they're turning. Now they're flipping, and they're saying shit like, we need to talk about 343 getting tossed off this project. We need to talk about id Software stepping in. Microsoft owns id now, so now they should be the ones in charge of Halo. You weren't saying that when Halo Infinite came out. You were not. I was there. I see you. You cannot hide from me. Okay? You media sites, you can't hide from me either. All the shit's out there. It's in the open. Where's the criticism? It's not there. It's non-existent, because they are pushing a product. They're trying to sell us something that is not good. And I think that to sort of encapsulate all of Xbox and Game Pass, the conversations that I've been having and the topics that have been flowing for the last year, it's typically, there's a theme here. It's like mediocrity is rewarded. Mediocrity is quality. Like, they don't need to do anything special. They don't need to drop these big bangers. They don't have to do anything because Game Pass. Again, it's the same culture. It's that mindset, that consumer mindset that has been built over the last decade of just accept what you're getting. And if you detract from that, if you don't like it, don't say it, and don't score it that way, because if you do, you're toxic. You're a fanboy. You're Team Blue. You hate Xbox. You wish you had Halo. There's all these little terms and shit, these comment sections that I've been reading, listening to, and I've listened to actual people who work for these media corporations on their podcasts say shit like that. Toxic fandom, fanboy, console war, yada, yada, yada. No, you just don't like to hear the fucking fact that there's opposition to your opinion, that there's actual facts that support an opposing opinion. That's really it. Every time someone says something that opposes the sheep, that opposes the message, the agenda that's being pushed out, every time it's, you're toxic, you're a fanboy, you're a hater. No, I'm sorry. I don't hate Xbox. I don't hate Uncle Phil. I don't hate anything, but it doesn't matter what I say. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what I say, and I shouldn't have to say those things. I shouldn't have to justify it. I should just be able to say, oh, this is my opinion. This is where I'm coming from. These are my supporting facts. Now you go. Now it's your turn. That's how a debate works. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because People already have their minds made up. They see Halo, they like Halo. They see Game Pass, they like Game Pass. They see Uncle Phil, they love Uncle Phil. They see Xbox, they love Xbox. They see green, it's Xbox. Okay? And that's not just Xbox. There are fans out there who are, they see blue, they love it. They see Sony, they love it. They see God of War, yada, yada, yada. The same thing. Nintendo, red, blah, blah, blah. That can be painted across all the fucking fans, all right? But that is a very dangerous fucking mindset. To just sit there and no matter what is put in front of you, if it's part of your team, love it, like it, don't complain, consume, just move on. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's healthy. You know, everything that I look at, that I talk about, I've usually watched it at least twice, and I always take time to think about it. I take notes, and you know, and when it comes to stuff like this, a lot of these topics that I talk about on like the Sunday Sum Up and things, a lot of the gaming stuff, it's like I've already heard other people talk about it, and I can think for myself. I don't need to hear other people say shit before I come on here and say something, but I just don't have the time. You know, I have a job. I don't have the time to sit there and just spend all the live long day just flipping through YouTube and, you know, paying attention to Xbox's, you know, their news feeds and Sony's news feeds and Nintendo's and, you know, and then, you know, going to all these websites and listening to the media to help break these stories and all this other shit. I just don't have that sort of time. And I don't want to spend all my time doing that anyways. If I had the time, I don't think I would do that anyways. But I do listen to a lot of people's opinions before I make my videos, and it's not to gain my opinion. I'm not trying to learn my opinion. I already have my opinion. Things rub me the wrong way, I fucking say it. I didn't like the fact that Sony was chasing Game Pass. I didn't like it. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good idea. Now, they hedged it a little bit, and I think it was smart on their part to not just go full fucking Game Pass. I think that's a smart thing, but I didn't think they needed to chase Xbox and Game Pass at all. I just didn't. I don't think they need to. Okay? I didn't like the fucking microtransactions in Gran Turismo 7. I thought they were bullshit. I called them on that. You know, I wanted to talk about Sony's price hike. You know, that's not good. That's not good. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. I listen to plenty of Sony fans and podcasters and creators, and they're sitting there, they're trying to justify it, and they're saying this is the reason and yada, yada. And it's like, okay, listen, if you need to justify that to yourself, that's fine. But you're not going to convince me of anything different. Sorry, I just don't think so. It's not a good look. Optically, it looks really fucking bad to be the first console ever to raise the fucking price of your console. You actually raise the price. Prices go down. That's what they do, okay? All you early adopters out there, like myself, you go get something new and shiny. It's fresh off the fucking presses. You can't wait to be the first, you know, iPad so-and-so or iPhone so-and-so or Samsung Galaxy so-and-so or console or whatever it is. You need to be there first. You want to be there first. Okay. So the idea that Sony chasing Microsoft and Microsoft doing what they're doing with Game Pass, I can criticize that. I can critique that. I can look at that and say, I don't like that. I don't need to be told what to think. And I believe that a lot of these fuckers out there, a lot of these media, a lot of these content creators, these sites, they generate content to their base. They're specifically saying the things that will get their base to support their brand. And their brand is, I'm an Xbox channel, I'm a PlayStation channel, I'm a Nintendo channel, I'm a PC channel, you know, I'm a left-wing channel, a right-wing channel, whatever it is. They're going to continue to generate that message. They want you to stick around. They want you to come in. But when you come out, when you step away from that, creators and, you know, media, you know, all you gaming sites, when you step away from it and then you start fucking publishing articles and cutting videos saying that you have always thought this way, you were always on the idea of like you know, 343 probably shouldn't own this. They need to move this over to someone else. Bullshit. I call bullshit. And I think, and I, you know, it's kind of the title of the video here, Halo is dying and media killed it. Okay? Media, Team Green, you guys are killing this franchise, and you have been killing this franchise every time you ignore the negative. Every time you praise something that should not be praised to the heavens. Every time you do not critique something that needs to be critiqued, that needs to be criticized, every time you do that, you are killing this franchise, and you've been doing it for 10 fucking years. And these creators are no different. They're exactly the same. They're in lockstep. They're marching to the same fucking beat. They're always going to talk to their base. They're always going to try to gin up that information so that, gin up those clicks so that people click on their videos so that they can make money, okay? This is a numbers game, all right? It's a simple mathematic equation. Make money, generate clicks, make money. That's it. That's all you got to do. Whether you're IGN, whether you're Game Informer or GameStop or GameSpot, whether you're Kind of Funny, whether you're Last Stand Media, whether you're fucking Easy Allies, whoever you are, the formula is clear, okay? It's right in front of everybody. And when you ignore the formula and you just look at it like, oh, okay, no, these guys, they really have been the opposition this whole time. No, they haven't. Prove it. Show me some receipts. Prove to me that you have been the sole opposition, because you can't. You can't do that. And it just blows me away. It blows me away. Listening to this last week of content, I was like, for the most part, I was like, okay, whatever. Okay, so 343 fucked up again. And the more I listened to it, then I started seeing all these videos come out. I'm like, man, you fuckers, wow, you guys are full of shit. 343 has been fucking up. This whole Halo Infinite release has been a total clusterfuck. Okay? The launching of the game, the launching of the trailer that came out to be memed to hell, delayed the game a year. The game comes out. Campaign, for the most part, isn't good from what I understand. There's no ray tracing. There's no fucking couch co-op. There's no co-op in general. There's no Forge mode. The content for the Battle Pass is poor. And they're money gouging the shit out of people on the Battle Pass. And where were you? Where are you? I don't hear you. I don't see you. I don't see the videos of Xbox creators saying that this shit needs to change, that it's wrong. They don't. And now they do. Now they're running fucking to the hills with their flags, trying to plant their flag and saying, I was the one who've always been saying this. No, you haven't. You're lying. But I'm going to leave it at that. So got a little heated there, got a little distracted a couple times. Like I said, I woke up this morning and it was like another day. I was like, all right, I'm going to do my thing. Then I listened to another video and I was like, this is starting to piss me off. And I started listening to those tweets and then I started listening to a couple other videos and I was like, no. Sorry, I can't let this one go. And like I said, I'm not reaching for anybody. I don't give a shit if these guys don't like me or if they want to fucking torpedo my channel or, I'm nobody. I got 93 subscribers. These guys have thousands, hundreds of thousands of subs. They make money out their shit, and that's fine. Go make your money. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I never tell somebody that, what to do with their money or whatever, or what to do with their opinion. You got to have your opinion. I need to have mine. Everything's fine. I got no issue with these people. But what I take umbrage with is the things that these creators and these media corporations and these sites have been saying. They have been shepherding this mediocrity. They have been shielding it. They have been protecting it. They have been propping it up when it fails. They're overlooking the negatives. They're inflating the positives, and they've been doing it for fucking years. And that's why Halo is in the state that it's in right now. Not for any other fucking reason. 343, because if 343 was held accountable for their fucking missteps, if they were held accountable from the jump, let Halo 4 come out, that's their fucking free pass. Then the MCC comes out, that's a big strike. Then Halo 5 comes out, that's strike number 2. And then Halo Infinite comes out, that's strike number 3. And it's like, you let them get away with 4 fucking games. 4 games. And all you did was run cover for them. 4 games, and all you did was give them glowing reviews and praise and lob fucking softball questions at Uncle Phil and any of the 343 developers. No one criticized them. No one held their feet to the fire. No one held them accountable. And now it's cool to hold them accountable because it's finally reached the breaking point. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's not 343's. It's not even Uncle Phil's or Microsoft. It's your fault. Media, creators, Team Green, you have been protecting this shit, and now it's come home to roost. And who knows what the next fucking game's going to be? Who knows who's going to be in charge of it? Only Microsoft and Uncle Phil can do that. And who knows? I mean, like I said, I don't think the guy's any good at what he does anyways. Maybe he does something great. Maybe he fixes this and he hands it off to a better team, or he grows the team and adds the key players that need to be added to make this a good franchise again. But as it stands today, this franchise is not doing good. It's been on a downward trend. And it's been getting nothing but applause as this fucking thing crashes into a mountain in slow motion. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you had a good time watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subbed to the channel, click the subscription, click the notification. Hope to see you again. You enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.